So I've got this roller coaster here that I've downloaded, and I want to create a spline, but not only for one rail, for two rails, because Super Spline can actually work with two rails and it can calculate the banking in between each rail, so we get a really nice accurate kind of animation. So what I'm going to do is, first off, I'm just going to select these rails and isolate them, and I am going to, let's start here. This is going to be my first rail. I'm going to select 2 points and then press the right arrow key and then press Control P, and that has created a spline. So I'm just going to cut that out, paste that into a second layer. Okay, and you can see here, let's just have a look at the point info. Press I to bring up that panel. I've got all the points selected. You can see here, actually, I've started this spline at 119, so I actually want to reorder those. So what I'll do is I'll go into a new layer, put the spline in the background layer, and then I'm going to come to create points. I'm just going to right click to add a point, and I'm going to center it. Okay, so next I'm going to hit multiply, rail clone, and I am going to add, let's just go 100 points because we need it nice and dense. 100 points, and make sure align to start is clicked. So now we've got this nice these points in order, evenly spaced. You can see here maybe we need a few more because it's not dense enough, so I'm just going to do, sorry, I'm just going to do that again. Rail clone, I'm going to go 200 this time. There we go. So I'll deselect that, and now I'm just going to select them all, Control P, and that curve is now based on the point order that we want. So you can see here, down here, we've got this starting at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 201. Okay, so that's, I'm going to cut that out, X, and I'm going to paste that into layer 2. Okay, so let's just put that rail in the background. So we want to start at this point and we want to go in this direction. So this is going to be our left rail. So we need to make sure we name these. So I've set this up before. For Super Spline to work with two rails, we need left and right in the name. So left underscore and then the name. Okay, so we're going to do the same again, but this time for the right track. So we'll just start around there. Texture wire, just going to zoom in on that. And then I'm going to create a spline. Those 2 points, hit the right arrow key, Control P, then we've got our spline, Control X to cut, Control V to paste. Let's just make sure we've got those in the right point. That's it. So we're going to do the same again. We're just going to new layer. The plus key is actually create point, so right click, we'll center that, and then we'll do the same again, making sure we keep the same amount of verts. So rail clone 200, align to start. Okay, and then select all of those. Let's drop the selection. Select all of those, Control P, and then we've got our spline. Let's just check that we've got the right point order. Yep, and we've got our 1, 2, 3 starting there, so that's all perfect. So we're going to cut that from there, paste that into our layer 3, and so we've got our names here. Okay, so over in layout, let's just find these. So we've got our left track and right track. Okay, so I'm going to select those both and then run Super Spline. We want to close spline. Hit OK. This is going to take a bit longer than usual because it's got to deal with all the banking on all of the nodes. So I don't think it's crashed because it just takes a minute or so. But the result is worth the wait because all of your banking is calculated and you don't get any twisting and everything just works. Let's just give that a moment. It's obviously got 400 nodes to go through and calculate, so it does take a minute. There we go. I mean, what was that, 30 seconds, something like that. So let's just set that as ribbon, and I'm going to just reduce our grid size. Hide those so you can see there that we've got, you know, the banking just matches our roller coaster. So what we can do now is obviously let's see if we can load a roller coaster car now. So I've loaded the car. We can select the spline now, and we're going to instance generator, add an instance generator, and we're going to add this car, roller car, and we'll put that on spline. So let's have a look at where we are with that. Distribute. Right, okay, they're very tiny at the moment, so I'm just going to set the uniform scale to fit the track. Okay, we don't want to distribute. Actually, what we want to do is just use the spacing here. So we've got something like that. Then what we can do, let's do it minus, and then it will go backwards. There we go. We'll come in this way. Okay, 300, and we'll do our calculate length. So we'll copy that, and in the offset, we're just going to create a key, and set that at 300, and then we're just going to add some ease in and ease out. So let's hide this, close some of these windows, and hopefully now got a roller coaster that actually follows the track perfectly with all the loops and banking. I mean, how quick was that to set up? Beautiful.